Hi, I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back if you're one of my regular visitors here. If this is your first visit, a very big welcome to you, and I hope you like my style of astrology. I try and make it easy, understandable, and kind of digestible. And if you are one of my new subscribers, thank you so much for joining the channel. And if you're new here, as I said, I would love it if you'd subscribe. So today we're having a look at Mercury, our messenger, our planet of speed, of communication. Mercury, of course, rules Gemini, and it also rules Virgo, where it is now residing. And we have this month, yes, a Mercury retrograde phase. So we have 3 weeks of this winged-footed god causing all manner of disturbance and disruption with travel, with communication. Also, Mercury rules commerce. So it rules things like parcels being delivered, or indeed what we have inside the parcels. So for example, things like white goods, washing machines, dishwashers, kettles, coffee makers, anything of that nature can all get snarled up when Mercury is retrograde. And he was the kind of, he was the messenger between humans and the gods. So he had a very important role. And this is why, of course, Mercury had wings on his feet. So he could navigate his way around the planet, the cosmos, Mount Olympus, to take all the information that needed to be passed on between gods and mortals. Now, interestingly, Mercury, he's also known, or he has, if you like, an alter ego known as Hermes. Not the lovely handbags, although, and they don't really, the lovely handbags made by Hermes do not really kind of explain the energy of the god Hermes, because Hermes was a bit of a naughty boy, because he was a thief and he stole things. And one of the things that he stole, he was also a messenger, that's why I'm bringing him into this story, but he stole a tortoise shell. And Apollo was pretty angry with this, Apollo being the sun god, and so Hermes had it made into a lyre, which of course is a musical instrument of days gone by. Hence the sun, Apollo, rules Leo, and of course one of the attributes to the sign of Leo is music and arts and entertainment. So it's interesting to see how these things all link up. So the other thing I'll just tell you quickly about Hermes, which was very interesting, is he was the guide of the dead souls to Hades. So you remember I was talking about Pluto, the king of Hades, and Persephone. Well, Hermes was one of these gods that could actually traverse between heaven and hell. And he took the souls of the dead down to the underworld. So in a sense, if we link it in with the archetype of Mercury, who is a communicator, then it's very much about communication on both levels. And if you think about it, the communication that we have with the underworld, when we all have to, every now and then, take that inner journey where we go down into our inner world, which is really the symbolic kind of expression and experience of the underworld, to grow, to learn more about ourselves. So what's this Mercury retrograde going to represent for us? Well, after I've done this short overview, I will be time-stamping, or rather actually Jerry will be time-stamping all your individual zodiac signs. So I will give you the house area, so that is the kind of life area when you can where you can expect the woes of Mercury to cause disruption. So let's see what else we can find out, because actually this is interesting, because Mercury is the fastest planet in our solar system, and it travels through space and around the sun at 29 miles per second. That's approximately 47 kilometers per second. Because the closer a planet is to the sun, then the faster it travels. This is why if you look at an astrological chart, you will always find that Mercury in the chart is not that far away from where the natal sun is. And it will often be in the same sign as your sun sign. And when it's at its furthest kind of reach from the sun, then it will be in the next sign or the previous sign. So what else do we know about this particular Mercury retrograde? Well, it's happening on the 23rd of August until September the 15th. And remember, it has a shadow zone. We've been in that shadow zone for a little while now. I've certainly been snarled up with certain things going wrong with my technology and just getting frustrated because it won't work for me. So I think you know what that's like. So we also will have a shadow zone the other side of September the 15th. And bearing in mind Venus, that is retrograde, and I just want to check when Venus goes direct. Venus goes direct in Leo on the 4th of September. So really from the 4th, we're going to start to feel, the 4th of September, we will start to feel a little bit of a shift. Just an infinitesimal shift in the energies. So I just give you that for now. Back to Mercury. Mercury is in Virgo. Virgo, of course, is hardworking, diligent. It rules the 6th house. It is the 6th house in the zodiac. And Virgo is known as the maiden or the virgin, and she carries a sheath of corn. And the kind of general feeling of the sign of Virgo is about service to others. And often Virgo forget to serve themselves. So it's service to others and their ability to sort the wheat from the chaff. Hence their ability to sort out all the details of difficult problems and situations. So they always make great bookkeepers, accountants, anything of that nature. And so the chart that we have up, I have a chart, and the chart is going to magically appear here now. I love doing that. All I have to hope is that it's really there and that I'm not sitting here like a twat pointing at my lampshade saying, look at this chart. So hopefully Jerry will do his twiddly bits and it will all be up there. So anyway, so this chart that I've got up for Mercury retrograde is basically, it's quite interesting actually, because of course it's an Aries ascendant. So you'll see that as the beginning of the first house. And so every house is more or less in the delineation that it needs to be in. Now I use universal time, which basically means It's based for sort of London, UK, but that is GMT, that is Universal Time. So the time that I actually have for Mercury going retrograde is the 23rd of August, and it's at 2103 seconds, so 9 o'clock in the evening. The degree that Mercury is at when it goes retrograde is, interestingly, 21 degrees. So all of you numerologists out there, have a think about that and how that might reflect on the energy of what we can expect with this Mercury retrograde few weeks. So 3 weeks we will have this retrograde. Now, as I said, it's in Virgo. So it does, however, rule Virgo, so that is helpful. But my feeling is that what it's going to give us a chance to do is to actually slow down with our routines. Now, it is summer, it is August in the Northern Hemisphere. And by the time it goes direct in the middle of September, then we are into that kind of getting back to work kind of energy. And for all of you in the Southern Hemisphere, then obviously the energy seems or can seem slightly different because, of course, you are more moving towards spring. So a kind of new birth in a different kind of way. Mercury, as it goes retrograde, is conjunct transiting Mars, still in Virgo. Mars, of course, is our god of energy and action. So it's as if we've been rushing along at the speed of light, virtually, trying to get everything done, trying to get things sorted out with whatever the issues are in our lives that we need to address. I know I have in many ways. I did intend to take it easy, to take care of this, which, as you can see, is getting a lot better. Thank you for all the kind comments, healing and well wishes, much appreciated. And it's actually feeling a lot better, so it's settling down. Now, the sun, when Mercury goes retrograde, is at 0 degrees and 26 minutes of Virgo. So we've suddenly got this sort of concerted energy in Virgo, because we've also got Lilith here. We have Athena here. Athena is the asteroid of basically harmony, balance, and judgment. And so Mercury conjunct Mars and Athena conjunct Mercury. This could be, if any of you have issues or situations to do with anything legal documents, contracts, court cases, anything of that nature, you want to rush ahead and Mercury is putting on the brakes. The thought that's just popped into my mind is about President Trump, and I'm sure he will find Mercury retrograde is actually very helpful to him in finding delaying tactics for everything that is being sent his way currently, which I think is just quite interesting. And I don't take sides, I don't judge, I don't discuss, I just observe, because I just observe. So he may use this to his advantage. You may find you can use this energy to your own advantage. If there is something that you need to just slow down, to give yourself more chance to think about it, to reflect. Is this the way I want to go forward? Is this what I really want to do? So that could be one kind of manifestation of this energy. The other, or one of the other ways we may experience this is that in some ways, because Virgo is quite a quick sign, it likes to get things done quickly, it likes to sort things out quickly. And so we may actually just be feeling a little bit lazy, a little bit tired even. It is the 6th house, which can be our physical health. So it may be that it's a kind of timely reminder that we need to actually take some time out and relax a bit. And, you know, in a sense that everything will sort itself out in the right time, in the right way. It reminds me of, you know, and I've talked about this book before called The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. And she was a metaphysician in the early 1900s, and she wrote that book in 1926. Now she talks about, my interpretation of what she talks about is kind of staying in the flow of how the divine is trying to incline us or guide us towards. Now, I think this Mercury retrograde, slowing down, is the divine's way. That's the word I use. You may have other words, your guides, your archangel, your granny, God. All manner of words lead and mean the same thing. So for the sake of this story, I'm going to call it the divine. But this Mercury retrograde is reminding us to slow down and stay with the flow, to sense the energies, and that maybe if things aren't unfolding or coming to fruition as quickly as we would like, it's because the universe knows better, and that actually we're not meant to get where we want to get to yet. You know, so often I talk about this, I talk about how we get in our own way. And this is really reminding us to take that step back. You know, Venus in this chart, this event chart for Mercury retrograde, is still retrograde in Leo, and it's in the 5th house. And so Venus is about love, relationship. It's about value. Leo is it's ruled by the sun. It's about life. It's about our health. It's about our well-being. In the 5th house, it's about fun and entertainment. It's about music, the arts. Venus, going backwards. You know, I did that video where I talked about when it's kind of taken from our sight, it's kind of hidden from us with its, the Venus star point. And so Venus is just kind of hidden from our sight, as if we just need to take time out from whatever we're doing to breathe, to rest, to just slow down just a bit. And talking about slowing down, I'm just looking at one of the aspects, because Venus retrograde is actually squaring Jupiter, our planet of expansion, luck and opportunity. It's a square, so remember that is challenging, in Taurus. Now, Jupiter in Taurus in this event chart is in the 2nd house. You might find that because it's a square to Venus and Venus rules Taurus, you might find that this Mercury retrograde could bring unexpected expenses. And the Venus squaring Jupiter in Taurus is kind of just affecting what you're budgeting, how you're budgeting is looking currently. And it just may not be the right time to be splashing out and on anything, including, I know I'm saying slowing down and having fun and going out and doing some fun things, but they need to be things that are kind of relatively free and don't cost a lot to enjoy. So there's going to be a whole load of business owners who've just unsubscribed from me because I'm telling people not to enjoy their theme parks, etc., etc. But, you know, Venus squaring Jupiter, something's getting expanded, and it's something to do with finance. And this could be, I know there's been talk, even today when I'm recording this on the 16th of August, there's been talk about inflation or recession, for instance, in the United Kingdom. I don't know about other countries in the world, I don't know about America, but they're talking now more likely that a recession could come. And so the markets have been reflecting that and tumbling a bit. So Mercury retrograde in Virgo is suggesting that we really take it easy to just mark time. At least Mercury is in Virgo that it rules, so it's comfortable there. So Mercury will be giving you time to think. Remember, Mercury is about thinking. And maybe you need to just slow down during this Mercury retrograde and look at how you can take care of your own personal situation, whether that's in finance or in time devoted to other things, to the point of, let's see where we are mid-September. Give yourselves time out with this energy. And just before we move on to your individual signs, just to give you a short heads up of what to expect, the chart actually has cardinal energy on the 4 quadrants, which I find quite interesting because, of course, we've got Aries, Cancer, Libra and Capricorn. And for me, there's something about the wisdom in slowing down, the wisdom in taking time out, because it's a little bit like a bow. You pull it back and I've never pulled a bow, having said that. God, it's a tiny bow, isn't it? So here we are holding on to my archer's bow, and here I am pulling back the thing. God, I know a lot about this, don't I? And you get the right tension so that then Mercury's arrow can fly where it needs to go. Okay, so let's have a look now at your individual signs and just see where this energy is going to show up for you. So first of all, if we look at Aries, and at this point, this chart, hang on, let me use this on, this chart is going to disappear. Just like that. Probably. Aries, this is your 6th house. This is about your working routine. This is also about how you manage your day-to-day activities. And I think there's a necessary slowing down that needs to take place, Aries. Remember, you've got Chiron, the wounded healer, in your sign, retrograde. And I think Chiron is kind of just urging you to take a little bit better care of your physical health. That's really what I feel is coming with this energy. I also feel that because it's the 6th house for you, it's about actually, how do you give to others? Because sometimes we get so caught up in our own lives that we forget sometimes to be a good friend or a good listener, or just, can I carry your bags for you to the front door? It's just a thought for you, Aries, to think about how you could use this energy and reap the harvest of Mercury retrograde for you. Let's move on to Taurus. Taurus, 5th house. So, for you, Taurus, It is in your fifth, is it in your fifth house? Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Sorry. I'm talking to myself. I'm looking at two different screens and getting in a muddle. It's in your fifth house. I'm going to put this one away so I don't get all muddled up. Right, I will now look at this one. Taurus, it's in your fifth house. Well, slow down. You're moving too fast. You need to slow down, Taurus, and take some time out and have some fun. However, Mercury retrograde, you could find that all these little social things that you've organised, some of them will get cancelled, delayed, put off, postponed. Don't be surprised if well-meaning friends let you down. They don't mean it. It's just they get overwhelmed by all the energy as well. So there could be something of that. So there's something about, so what you can do to kind of alleviate any disappointment caused by cancelled appointments that, well, fun appointments, cancelled fun things that you'd got planned, is to find a way to entertain yourself and take up looking again at some of your creative talents. You know, Taurus, you're very good with gardening. Remember, you are the green-fingered sign. So, I mean, at the moment, I'm a Taurus, right? I'm thrilled to bits because I've brought back to life a poinsettia from last Christmas that was at death's door. And I realised all I had to do was be kind to it, nurture it, water it. That helped. Helped immensely, actually. And I'm now just so in love with this little baby plant. And I found it the right shelf, so it's sitting in the right place. That is the kind of way to use Mercury retrograde. What can you give attention to, Taurus, that you can allow to breathe new life into something? This could be something creative. Breathe new life into something you love doing. Now let's move on to Gemini. Gemini, for you, it's in your fourth house of home and family. Oh, well, you know what's going to happen. Things are just, people are supposed to be coming to visit. They will cancel at the last minute because they're unwell. Or if they do come, you pick up whatever they've got, so you get unwell. Gemini, really, you just need to take some time with this Mercury retrograde. This is your ruling planet, remember. Pay some attention to the odd jobs that need doing around your home base. If you do that, that would be really good use of this energy. Even if it's tidying out cupboards and doing something that is Virgo, where we have to attend to the detail of something, that would be really good use of this energy. So that's what I think it is for you, Gemini. So let's move on to Cancer. Cancer, for you, it's in your third house of communication. Oh dear. Well, I hope you're not expecting anything important to arrive in the next 3 weeks, because it will get delayed. Messages will go adrift. This is a classic Mercury retrograde experience. You will find things go astray. You will find that particular kind of parcels you've been expecting to be delivered don't get delivered, or something even that you ordered a year ago that never turned up and you got a refund suddenly shows up. That happened to me once with a pair of shoes. Well, I kept them both, didn't I? I mean, no one's going to know, are they? No one's going to watch this and think, oh, she's the one who kept the 2 pairs of shoes. Well, I've let the cat out the bag now, haven't I? Anyway, right, talking about pussycats, Leo. Leo, it's in the second house for you. This is your house of money. Money and finance. Take it easy. budget, slow down, because I think, like I was saying in general, with this Mercury retrograde, we're just going to notice commerce, trading, self-employment, anything of that nature is just a little bit slow at the moment. So this is where we have to be mindful of when we make hay when the sun shines. And this is the time when we don't make hay because the sun is not shining. Your ruling planet is not shining so much on your finances in the short term. Don't worry, don't fret about it, because you know, and we all know, whatever goes down must come up. And that's again where we have to stay in this flow with the divine and trust that if those kind of sources of abundance seem to be drying up, you know, a new source of abundance always opens up somewhere. It's just we can be so busy looking for it over there that we miss it going, hello, I'm over here actually. So keep your eyes open. Keep your big pussycat eyes open and go and sit on top of one of those mountain tops and survey the prairies and the savannas and the plateau of your domain, and be patient, Leo. Now Virgo, of course, Virgo, it's in your house. So actually, I think this is quite a welcome break for you. I think you've been hugely busy, Virgo. I think that your battery, your internal battery, has been going, it's really wound down. And you really do need some time out to serve yourself because you've been serving others too readily. It's a wonderful talent that you have, but Virgo, you can't serve from an empty vessel. We know these things, we forget them. Also, Virgo, with this sign, if you take the time out to slow down, it gives your thinking a chance to catch up with where you are now and to have the new bright ideas that can come to you for the next part of the year. You know, we're going into Virgo season on the 22nd, 23rd of August. So Mercury, your ruling planet, goes retrograde the day the sun moves into your sign. So isn't that cool? Because the sun is actually saying, yeah, but I'm here. I'm shedding light on everything that you're thinking, oh, I don't know how to sort it out. You will, and it will. So don't worry. Let's move on to Libra. Libra. This is in the part of the chart that is to do with very much the inner you. It's also where you can go within and reflect. I think you need some time to reflect. I think you've been doing a lot of doing and not much being, Libra. And I think this energy is giving you an opportunity to be a little bit more and to find the harmony and balance that you need. Because remember, your ruling planet Venus is retrograde. And remember that because your ruling planet Venus is retrograde, you may have actually been feeling a kind of energetic kind of energy from it to you that has made you feel vulnerable, not quite in balance, a little bit unseen, a little bit invisible. And here we have this Mercury retrograde in the 12th house, where you can also feel a little bit unseen and invisible. So Libra, just see it as respite. Just see it as a chance to recharge your batteries and allow those new ideas to come in. And now we move on to Scorpio. So Scorpio, in the 11th house, this is the community at large. It's larger groups of people, but of course, it's also about your hopes and wishes and dreams. What have you got to put the brakes on with? I think you've got some ideas. You've got some pretty cool ideas about what you'd like to do, where you'd like to go. And I do feel that this energy is saying, not quite yet. Remember what I was saying about being in the flow of the divine. If it's not happening easily at the moment, then take that as a signal that it's not the right time. And after the middle of September, when Venus is well and truly moving forward, when Mercury turns direct, by October, it'll be much easier to see the general direction that you're heading in. Now we come to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, it's your 10th house. And remember, for those of you that are retired or just not working, or just think, well, that's it, I'm just, a passion and career doesn't really come into my environs because I'm too old or whatever. Remember, we're never too old. Sagittarius, if any of you fit into that framework, you really need to take a step back with this Mercury retrograde and look at what you can do. Reflect on what you've achieved in your life with whatever your career was or your passion. And what passions are you still not exploring? Do you have passions for the arts or for crafts, for music, for painting, for handiwork, for woodwork? What do you have a passion for? Because this Mercury retrograde is saying, why don't you go back and have a look at those things and see if one of those maybe hobbies you pick up again. Let's move on to Capricorn. So Capricorn, it's in the part of your chart to do with long distance travel. It's also, of course, the house of higher education. It's also your higher kind of connection with your spiritual self. So let's just have a think about this. First of all, if any of you are doing any traveling, Capricorn, at this time of year, sorry, expect delays and cancellations. I think it's the nature of things. But it's about being your Capricorn self, being stoic and knowing that all delays are okay, because remember, it's about the journey, not about whizzing to the destination without enjoying the journey. Airports can be fun. People watching can be fun. How many people get their heads away from their screens and actually observe or meet someone and just start up a lovely conversation? There's some amazing people out there, Capricorn, but actually you know that. You do know that. And I think of all the signs, you're quite good at making the most of a challenging situation. So that is a possibility. It also might be that something that you've always been a little bit interested in terms of finding more about, maybe art or something in the entertainment industry. I'm just thinking about Venus retrograde in Leo. There could be a lot of things like that, you know, could be loads of things, sculpture, pottery, all sorts of things, glass making. I live on a wonderful island where we have a wonderful glass making factory just up the road, and it is fascinating to go and stand there and watch them, you know, blowing into the hot molten glass to make shapes and then spinning it round and shaping it into the most wonderful creation. Okay, let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius. It's your 8th house. This is the house of transformation. It's the house of endings, beginnings, joint finances. It's Virgo. You are worrying about something to do with joint finances. You are worrying about whether certain sort of money ventures, maybe it's a pension or an investment, whether they are going to actually realistically be realized. Worry is not going to make any difference to the ultimate outcome. And just a heads up, Aquarius, I don't think economically for the planet, over the next 2 or 3 months, I think it's going to be what I would term a bearish market. This is not a time for laying out large amounts of money. This is a time for prudent patience. And I think this Mercury retrograde is bringing that for you. By the time Mercury goes direct and moves out of its shadow when we reach October, then I think there will be a little bit of a shift in the general energies financially. Uranus will be retrograde at that point. So will Jupiter. We will have a lot of the outer planets, most of them, I think all of them, will be retrograde at that point. So it's a time for just, whoa, slow down, slow down. And the most important thing, because what Mercury is going to do is it goes retrograde through your 8th house, it's going to make you worry. You don't have anything to worry about. It will, remember what I was saying about staying in the flow of the divine, having faith that your needs will be met. Now let's move on to Pisces, my oceans of emotions. I can just about do this movement again after shoulders, tendons, biceps are shot to pieces. So, you know, I'm getting there, Pisces. Pisces. This is about your significant relationships. Well, who are you going to hear from the past? Because this can bring an ex back into your life, an old love. It may just be communication from someone from the past, checking up on you, maybe wanting to see if they can pick up where things left off. But there's something about it, I think, because it's Virgo, that's going to get you in a little bit of a, you're going to get a little bit worried. It's just going to concern you a bit. But Pisces, that's just what is going on in your mind. Remember, Mercury is the mind, and it's just getting you into overthinking about something that maybe this person just genuinely is checking up to see how you are. And maybe they've actually moved on, and maybe it's actually okay. Maybe this person that might come back into your life is a blessing in disguise. Maybe you'll actually be happy about it, Pisces. Maybe there are benefits to come from this person that at the moment you can't see. So there can be lots of permutations to this energy. So there we go. That is all 12 signs and an overview of this Mercury retrograde. So thank you so much for joining me. for this in-depth look at Mercury retrograde. 23rd of, just let me give you the dates again, 23rd of August, and it goes direct on the 15th, but it won't be out of shadow till well into October. So that's gonna take a bit of, and the other energy for August the 23rd is the Sun, remember, moves into Virgo, and Venus retrograde in Leo squares Jupiter in Taurus, and that can bring up issues about the financial situation of the planet and, of course, in our own piggy banks. So, but do not worry. Remember, Mercury can make us overthink and worry too much. And be like Apollo, the sun god. Pick up your lyre and strum a tune. So, here I go again, wittering. Okay, so please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share. A lot of you have been sharing. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it, because apparently it's the sharing that really helps with the algorithms. So thank you so much. And have a great Mercury retrograde. Just sit back and enjoy. Enjoy the view. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.